It's the most successful athletic fundraiser event in the country, and this weekend, for the 39th consecutive year, thousands of Pan Mass Challenge riders will hit the road to raise money for life-saving cancer care and research. Last year, more than 6,000 cyclists raised a record $51 million, every penny of which was donated to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. Since the race first began, it's raised a total of $598 million. $600 million. I'm now joined by one of the biggest PMC enthusiasts out there, riding once again. There she is, WBZ, easy for me to say, news anchor Lisa Hughes. Lisa, it's great to see you. And the man who started it all back in 1980, Pan Mass Challenge founder and executive director, Billy Starr. Billy, it's great to see you, too.
Good to be here, Jim.
So 36 people, I think I'm right, in 1980 raised $10,000. Last year, 6,000 plus raised $51 million. If I had met you in 1980 and say, so what's your expectation of this thing? Did you have any expectations, or was it a one-and-done kind of thing?
At the very beginning, if you said that in Springfield Mall, it was a one-and-done. But by Sunday night, hearing what people were feeling about it, I was changing in my own mind what I thought I could do with my life. I mean, this wasn't a business plan. And to answer,
you were going to run like a head shop in Northampton or something, or whatever.
Not that ambitious, actually. But nonetheless, I really felt that what it did for me, it did for other people, and I felt that I could make it bigger.
So when you said did for
what
you,
was bigger?
I think most people know about the PMC. Your mother died a few years before 1980, and after some contemplation, this is what you decided to do in her memory, right? Was
That's
that not
correct.
the inspiration?
Her and other family members, yes.
What got you involved? How many years have you done this thing?
This will be my 8th.
Wow. What got you involved? What inspired you to do this?
Meeting Billy, in part. I had heard from people who had ridden the PMC, and they said, you've got to do this. I mean, there's just a feeling in this event that is unlike anything else you'll experience. And I heard this for a long time, but I didn't ride a bike. And I met Billy one night at a Christmas party, and I said, gosh, I've heard great things about the PMC. And he said, it is great. Why don't you ride?
That's sort of like him,
right?
Yeah.
Shocking.
And then we became neighbors. And my husband said as we were moving in, remember what you said about wanting to ride the Pan Mass Challenge? Now you're going to ride every year. And
so for those who haven't done it, can you describe? You do the whole 192, do you not?
I don't. I have done the 192,
okay.
But I go from Babson College. So I do 163 miles over 2 days.
Oh, it's only 163. Describe the experience, both doing it and what's it like when you're done.
You know, you're a little sad when it's done. I'm going to answer the last part of your question first, because it's like this 2-day bubble of positivity where everybody is both focused on a cause that's huge, which is curing cancer or assisting researchers and patients, but there's this wonderful camaraderie. And people are saying hello to one another, and you're making friends. And truthfully, some of my closest friends now are women I met because we ride.
Oh, that's great.
And that connection has really, is really life-changing. So even before the ride itself. But it's really inclusive, it's challenging physically, and you have this great sense of accomplishment when you're done.
Has anybody done it from the first one? A good friend of all of ours, Ed Ryan, former head of the Mass Bar, I was talking to a few minutes ago. He's done a mere 33 in a row, and it's about the proudest thing in his life. Has anybody done every year?
There are 3 of us, well, 4 of us. One who worked for me, so he doesn't get credit for all 39 rides, but Barry Kraft, Doug Gray, and myself have all ridden. Al Cody's been with me all 39.
So $600 million. Can you say what happened that would not have happened were it not for that almost 2/3 of $1 billion?
To put myself in the shoes of the CEOs and Josh Bekenstein, the chairman of the board, Dana-Farber couldn't do what they do without the money of the PMC.
More than half their money comes from you, right?
Not the Institute, but the Jimmy Funds.
Jimmy Fund, right,
We're about 55% of the annual revenue. But we're now probably 22% of Dana-Farber's budget of fundraising revenue. And, you know, this money provides the impetus that if they want to fund any outlier that Laurie Glimcher, their executive team, deems fit, they can. That they have this resource that isn't tied to government funding, which by and large has stayed mostly flat for the last 20 years.
How does this make you feel?
I'm all in.
Well, I know you're all in, but how does that? I mean,
I feel great. I feel great. You know, when the PMC weekend, I live it year round. Lisa knows we are neighbors, but The weekend's overwhelming. I both get to see tons of my friends. They're all in. Nobody can escape me. But the people I don't, the people who want to tell me a story who I only see once a year, it's a reunion, or I've never met before. And I want to hear it. I do. I want to hear this story. It's my job, but I'm also on a bike as well. So it's just, as Lisa said, the positivity. It's also wonderfully, I have to include one other part to the equation besides the palpable aspect of a mega event that shows what can be accomplished when people work together. I mean, for any of us who are business people, to see the logistics of the PMC is a very strong statement. It was always a great event. I was talking the same way in the 80s. But
how many states people come from?
43, but
how
you
many
got to
countries?
let me finish.
Oh, I will, but how many countries?
I'll lose my train of thought.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, 10 countries, 43 states.
Okay.
But, I knew you killed me.
Oh, no.
You can get it back. Just retrace your steps.
So that the
as a
people,
business person,
as a business principle, that you can actually see the work and that you can't do this alone. But I wanted to add, for Lisa, that the bike and the technology of the bike, she says that some of her best friends. It's not surprising. The bike and what we do with it as part of our social, physical training, it's a really cool instrument. And, none of us got younger except for Lisa. But we are out there riding real mileage with a group of friends, and you're going for a drink or dinner, and you just get closer. It's a nice thing.
Do you have a favorite moment?
Maybe when, every year when I hook up with my friends at Babson College and we're taking pictures and anticipating the ride, that's one favorite moment. But also, our daughters ride day one together now. They're teenagers.
We just happen to have a photograph of that next generation that's about to go.
I have to
say, look familiar to you?
Yeah, and when they finished, it was really awesome. For her to experience that feeling, it was great.
I wish people had seen the look on your face from that photograph. Do you have a favorite moment? It must be impossible.
It's just a collage, but I could quote this. About 4 years ago, we had extreme weather. We had a 50-degree driving rain. And my dear friend Josh Beckenstein, who is the chairman of the board, Dana-Farber, and he's a 26-year rider, and he comes up and he says, Jesus, Billy, you got to thank people over and over again. I mean, this is brutal. And Josh is a pretty tough guy. And I looked at him and I said, Josh, I don't have to thank anybody. This is the coolest moment in their life. Nobody in their right mind would be out there unless they had made this commitment. They're going to be so filled with pride. And it was a great moment in terms of just another threshold of elements not stopping us. Because as an event coordinator, I was always worried about that in the early years. What happens if it's raining at 5 o'clock in the morning? What happens if it's big heat? We're going to have okay temperatures, a little humid. It won't stop anybody.
My former producer and friend from NECN, Jonathan Skoik, not only rode in that one, rode on a bicycle built for two through 192 miles of torrential rain with his wife, and it's a day of his life. Lisa Hughes, congratulations on 8.
Great to see you, Jim. Thank you.
Congratulations on 39.
Thank you very much.
It's fabulous, both of you. It's thrilled to have you again. Lisa Hughes, Billy Starr. Again, the ride is this weekend, August 4th and 5th. If you want to learn more about the PMC or some of the 6,000-plus cyclists riding for a cure, or you want to help, go to pmc.org.